Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Bloodborne first playthrough journal for snapcontroller.com. I started off putting more notes down for people. Notes have become quite important for my style of play, in that I'm terrified of everything that comes around every corner, so I read every note to try and give myself a heads up. So I left a little note for this guy in here saying that he is susceptible to fire, especially oil and fire, but obviously not when you throw it in the wrong direction. That's much better. I didn't realise he turned into this giant beast and actually shat myself when he did, because I was expecting the nice, slow, normal hunter, not a giant beast that did some incredible amount of damage, almost killing me on this playthrough. But I just managed to sneak out before finishing him off with a flurry of my not yet blunted weapon. Got myself another lantern. It's always nice to find safe places in this nightmare, because they're very few and far between. I went up and found this laboratory and didn't really know what it was. Saw a little note on the table and read it, and it was about some kind of spider, and the rituals made no sense. I still don't know what it means now. I also watched this ghost image of this guy with this giant hammer, wondering when the hell I'll be able to get my hands on that thing. It's called the Kirk hammer, apparently, and does a lot of damage. Looking forward to getting it. I also found this workshop tool in this box. Again, no idea what it means. The old man was back in the hunter's dream, so I went and spoke to him. He told me about a holy chalice that was in the temple of the gods, and some ritual that needs to be performed. So I'm guessing this is either part of the main quest or some side quest that I can do if I gather up all of the things, like the chalice and whatnot. Also, my little undersmurfs, the guys in the fountain. There's not just one now, there's two, and the second one's brought a drink. I think they're having a little pool party. Crazy little drunk undersmurfs. I went to the chapel district area and met these guys that look all weird with their lanterns, but they're quite easy to kill. They sometimes take a stagger and yeah, pretty much attack, and they're dead. Can't do the same to this giant geezer, but he is slow, so you can get round behind him fairly easily. Unfortunately, I didn't know that the first time I played, so I went flying in, trying to dodge the attacks that he has, like that straight attack and the sweeping axe. But what I didn't realise is that despite being able to get round him quite easily like this, if you position yourself and he does a three-pronged attack, he will kill you in one go, like this. Yep, Bloodborne. Even as I learn, still die a lot. But yeah, notes, they're great. If you read the notes that are on the ground, they can help you out. I read a note here and it said, beware of pincer attack. I was about to go and attack that guy down there. I stopped, see a second guy coming. Could have been attacked by both of them at the same time if I hadn't have read the note. This way, I got to hit him with a pebble, lure him away and attack them separately. That's why I started leaving notes around for other people, especially if I felt of something that I didn't think anyone else knew. This guy was at the end of that walkway, and I'm guessing he was some kind of tough final engagement before you get some treasure in the basement, but he turned out to be quite easy, just because his attacks are ranged and quite slow, so you can get in and get a nice heavy attack in before he does anything, which I did until he was dead. Down the end of there was some treasure in a basement, more stuff about nonsense. I also met this guy, little blonde hair, blue eye, Nazi poster boy, and I don't know if I could attack him like I did the other hunter, but I'm glad I didn't, because he will come in handy later on in the game. in the church just down the hill from that guy, there is a mechanism to open this little chasm, and as scary as it looked, it was the only place I had left to go, so I went down there. Although it took me into this area, which had an ominous poster saying that the town had been abandoned. I'll let you listen in to what the guy says right now.
You there? Hunter! Didn't you see the warning? Turn back at once. Old Yarnum, burned and abandoned by men, is now home only to beasts. They are of no harm to those harmed. Turn back, for the hunter will face the hunt.
Of course I didn't turn back, and I saw this little insect jump off the side of a cliff. I decided not to follow it for fear of being caught in this area, and decided inevitably it'd be better to turn back. I then saw this note that said beware of fire. Didn't see any fire around, and having been shot at from the rooftop earlier, I figured maybe it was a ranged attack. Someone would lob some kind of fire missile at me. There's a guy on the left here, just one of the stick men in his dirty coat. There's a couple of giant geezers around the fountain, but no fire. It was only when I went to attack the guy on the left that I realised where the fire was going to come from. He had a cheeky little oil burner. Still, nice slow attack. Easiest way to get round that would be to dodge to the right, attacking from behind. Oh, no, attack from the front. Oh, got caught a little bit there. Oh, well, best remember next time to dodge round to the right. Definitely don't jump into him, because that will not work out well, ever. At the end of that path, through those enemies, I found this haunted forest area, and having 11,000 blood echoes, I figured I'd probably not best go wandering through there, such an open area where I could get attacked from many places. Let's go and bank the blood echoes and come back at a later date. Unfortunately, I looked at how far away the next lantern was and figured it'd be probably better to go through here. Unfortunately, I came across a rifleman's picnic where they were all gathered around the graves, sitting quite happily, and with a couple of haphazard throws and some dawdily standing around and getting shot, I managed to nose it up and lose myself 13,000 blood echoes. Might not seem like a lot later in the game, but at this early point, I was angry. I was very, very angry. I tried to get back up there really quickly, and then this guy with a weird lantern full of eyeballs managed to kill me with some magical fireball thing. So that didn't work out for me either. What I did do is go back to Central Yarnum and kill the giant pig thing that we saw in the last one, which is much easier when you come round behind it and can get it in this tight little tunnel. I also went back to a lantern by Father Gascoigne and found a hunter there. At first I thought it was another player in my game, which I know can happen, but it can't happen until you're level 30 apparently, and I wasn't quite that high up a level yet. But the attacks and the attack pattern, it just seemed like another player. However, when I moved and manoeuvred myself down here, it got itself stuck, and it became quite apparent that it was some kind of NPC. So yeah, NPC hunters are now in my game. So that's a little bit worrying, because they are quite good at attacking. It's like a little mini boss. And when there's other enemies about, you don't quite want to deal with it. But yeah, this is a little tip for you. If you're fighting this guy, get him down here, and he just tries to shoot through the railings like a bell end. With 14,000 blood echoes in the bank, I settled myself down, went and saved the old crone, and here she is, so very grateful. I'll leave you with what she says and how grateful she is, and I'll see you next time.
Right, lark, I'd say. This old mess that Yarnum's in, it's all your fault. You put it ruined, tainted by your ilk. Don't you come near me. I know you.
My type, grateful much.